Hey everybody, Like a Blades here, and in today's video I bring you the Squid Industries Tsunami. Again, this will be the follow-up video to the unboxing and the last video that I create with this knife. This is my second attempt creating this video, so if I seem a little upset, that's why. The original video that I recorded completely erased itself somehow. I don't know, but anyway. Before I get into this, the Buffness lent this knife to me out of the kindness of his heart. He had no obligation to do so. So a huge shout out and thank you goes to him. He's a great guy, a really good friend, and I'm so grateful for him allowing me to borrow this knife, even for the short period of time that I get to use it. And next up, I'm going to talk about my review process. I'm not going to be reviewing knives for others. I'm going to review the knives for my preferences based on what I like. So while this may be a 10 out of 10 everything overall score for you, it might be different for me, which this is not a 10 out of 10 for me, and I'll get into that. This is closer to a 10 out of 10. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. This just isn't a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna wait to give you my total ranking at the end of this, but I'm gonna be using the Solo here today as a reference, considering the similarities between these two knives. The materials are the same, minus the screw materials. They're both on bushings, and they're about the same size, just different weight. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the pros of the Tsunami, so I don't start this video off on a negative note. Everything about this knife is pretty much perfect, from fanning to rollovers, parabolics, everything. Ladders, choker fans, everything. Flippability on this is great. All of that is comfortable. It just does what you want it to do. It feels great. Makes me happy. But another pro is the materials. The 6AL 4V titanium, which is grade 5 titanium for those of you who don't know, S35VN blade. This knife is very lightweight and high quality material, so if it is dropped hard, that light weight will cause it to not take as much damage as a heavier knife would. But it also could potentially make it more fragile. This, in the case of this knife, I wouldn't say it's fragile, but I'm also not beating it because it does not belong to me, so keep that in mind. Now, another thing is the adjustable weight system. It's very modular, but it leads to a con, which is the titanium screws, tuning, and the, what's it called? Okay, tight tolerances. So the tight tolerances, the titanium screws, and all of that just makes this knife a difficult thing to deal with. The titanium screws are a lot softer than hardened steel screws and bits and drivers, so even the slightest miscalculation while taking this apart or putting it back together will cause you to strip the screws. The screws will be completely trashed. You'll have to drill them out. Now, the weight system is nice to have, but with those cons, that brings my rating down from a 10, which really sucks because I do love this knife. And flipping brings it up, way up. So before all the cons, this is a 10 out of 10 experience. It's a great knife. Get the certificate of authenticity, very nice box, all this other stuff. I can't try out the extra weight because it has zippy jimping inserts, which is equivalent to a 1-pin, I believe, or at least that's what the Buffness has told me. Now, back into the cons, I'm going to start it off with one trick that I find uncomfortable, and that being the chaplain. It sticks to your finger well, but in comparison to something like the solo, that blade spine is just so thin that while this being thicker, it glides on the finger, feels comfortable. The Tsunami, on the other hand, since it's so thin, it bites into your finger, or at least it bites into my finger, and it just pulls my skin with it, which becomes very uncomfortable. But that I can overlook because maybe it's just the finish. I don't know, but either way, that's just something that caught my attention, and it really upset me because I still want one of these and I'm gonna get one. It just becomes really difficult to go all out on it because of that one small thing. But I already talked about the titanium screws. Tuning, I'm gonna go ahead and go to tuning. So this is a sandwich design, meaning it's two pieces of titanium put into one handle, but it's channel. This is sandwich. For those that don't know, it's one piece of titanium, another piece of titanium, spacer. And you put it all together, it makes a sandwich design. For those who don't know, sandwich designs are more difficult to tune because you not only have to take care of the top screws, you have to make sure your bottom screws are tight as well. And if they are too tight, it can lead to handle bind, and all these other kinds of issues. While the top screws, they have to be the perfect tightness as well. Even on bushings, sandwich is a very good design for grip. It makes everything very nice because your fingers can dig into that groove, but tuning is difficult. This brings all of the cons from channel and sandwich together, but none of the pros. This doesn't have exceptional grip like the Solo does or any other sandwich design because this is flat. There's like nothing here. There's a tiny groove, but that's from the two pieces of titanium coming together. Other than that, there's nothing here, so your fingers are going to be slipping around on there. And it's just a pain. And since it's sandwich, being half sandwich, you have to take care of both sets of screws. If these aren't tight, you have tap, play, possible what's it called? Blade rub. I don't know why that took me so long to remember. Sorry about the awkward pause. Hashtag dumbass. It could cause blade rub, and none of those are fun. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. Brand new, this is a $750 knife. The Solo is a $1,000 knife, brand new. These are in two different price brackets, so it's not fair to do a comparison, which is why I'm not comparing them, I'm just listing some similarities because of their designs being so close to each other. So I'm not shitting on this because this is better or because this is more expensive. I'm not looking at this like that at all. I'm just taking care of this as this, and this is just here to help me with show some things. So now I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next con, which is sound and bounciness. This knife it's not very bouncy. It makes little to no sound. It's not really even that distinct. If I was to flip this next to some of my other knives in my collection, I would probably have a difficult time telling it apart. Unlike the Solo, which I just got broken in. I got it broken in already, so. Now the solo is pretty quiet as well. I wouldn't say silent, but it's pretty close to silent. It is quieter than the Tsunami, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I like my knives to have a ring to them, but I don't live alone, so quieter knife is probably better for me in the long run, unless I want to be bitched at 24/7 about flipping. Which brings me to my next thing. I flip knives more than the average person does. I start from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. I'm flipping a knife. Until I go to sleep, there is a knife in my hand, and I'm constantly doing all kinds of stuff. I'll be sitting at my desk or sitting on the couch watching something on my phone. My other hand, I'm flipping a knife. I'm flipping a knife, I'm flipping a trainer, it doesn't matter. I'm always flipping. That's not good for my health, it's not good for my hands, but I don't care. I'm always flipping. So, that's just something to keep in mind. Now, size and weight. These knives are pretty damn well the exact same size. Only differences is thickness and weight. This is thin and light. This is thick and medium weight. I wouldn't call it heavy, but it is heavier than what's considered the standard today. This is closer to the standard, while this is a bit heavier. And their designs, like I said, they're really close, which is why I'm making these comparisons. I like my knives to be heavier and bigger. So the Solo is more up my alley than the Tsunami is. And, I mean, come on. Why wouldn't it be? This is a custom and this is a production knife. I've always preferred custom over production just because it's more interesting and it's got a story to it. But honestly, the Solo is one of my favorite flipping knives in existence. Only one thing goes above that, so yeah. This thing is just too light and too short. If it was heavier or longer, I would have more fun with it, which I already have a ton of fun with it, but I need that extra bit of weight in the handles or in the blade or somewhere. I just need this to be more chunky, some way, somehow, and I would enjoy it a lot more, and that would bring its score up, but it's not. Which brings me to my very last con, that being titanium Zen pins. Lucas, Squid Industries, listen up. What the fuck were you thinking? Sure, you can anodize them, but this is hardened steel. This Zen pin nipple, that is hardened steel. That's titanium. Who in their right mind would have hardened steel contacting titanium like that? That is not shots fired at Hanson Metals and JK Design for their Monarch designs. This is a Zen pin system. I'm not talking shit about Pinless. I'm not talking shit about them. Joe Hansen is one of my favorite makers in existence, so hop off my dick. Anyway, if flipped long enough, these pins will deform and cause handle gap issues. Or, even worse, the pockets that these pins are in can shear from flipping too much, and it will cause the Zen pins to fall out. Or there's even a case where the Zen pins poke through the titanium and it ruins the entire handle. So, just with the thought of that, if I did buy one, not only would I be replacing the screws for steel screws, I'm replacing the fucking Zen pins too. I need this to be steel, because I'm going to be flipping my knife a ton, all day, every day, It's getting used and abused. So if it doesn't have steel screws, steel Zen pins, it can go to hell. I don't care. Which brings me to my final part of this knife. Its score. Its overall score. You know what? I'm gonna rate it the other things first, then give you the overall. So flippability, 10 out of 10. It's great. Durability, I'll give it probably an 8 out of 10. Availability, fuck, like a 3. You can still only buy live blades that are brand new at blade shows, so that fucking sucks. That's stupid. They should be restocking these on the website by now. Like, even the Thai Krakens have been sold on the website now, and these haven't, so what the fuck, Squid? Get your shit together. Fix your QC. What else? Value. Value, yeah, that's pretty good. I'd give it a 9, because you get the certificate of authenticity. You get a Grail knife at $750. You get all this extra stuff. The unboxing isn't really anything special. You get a white box with the extra white box of screws and hardware. Then you get your certificate of authenticity, which is anodized blue titanium or aluminum, and you get your knife. There's not really much special about that, because even the Solo, which again, terrible comparison. This is $1,000. This is $750, but the Solo comes with a taco case while it's being shipped to you, which is pretty fucking badass if you ask me. But I mean, for a production knife, yeah, it's good for unboxing, so that's a thing. Now, my overall score is an 8 out of 10. Now, you may have been expecting it to be worse because of all the cons, but I still do love the Tsunami and its design, so I have to give it at least a 7. And then I looked at all the pros while weighing out the cons, and just all of the tricks that it does exceptionally is awesome. So I just had to give it one extra point and bring it to an 8, especially because of the design. I mean, come on, look at this beauty. This one beat, but come on, look at this beautiful knife. Look at this design. I love it. I love the hell out of it. So, yeah, that's that. The Tsunami is an 8 out of 10 in my opinion. That's my opinion. Mine, not yours, mine. I don't know how you like it, but this is a review for my preferences, not yours. I don't know you. I don't know your preferences. I'd love to get to know you, but I don't know you. I don't know your preferences. I don't know what you like. I don't know your flipping style. So this is for me. I can't make a subjective video about, oh, for everybody it'll be blank out of 10, or it'll be this good, or this is gonna suck for you and it's gonna suck for everybody. I can't do that because I don't know everybody's flipping style or their preference or anything like that. So I'm basing it off my preference. And the Tsunami is an 8 out of 10. It's plain and simple as that. It's an 8 out of 10. I still love it. An 8 out of 10, that's a pretty damn good score. I'm gonna go ahead and say a 5 out of 10 is average. So this is above average. Don't get me wrong, this is above average. But still, a lot of people are probably gonna shit on me for saying that the Tsunami isn't a 10 out of 10. It's not. The Tsunami is not a 10 out of 10. It is damn near impossible to find anything that is a 10 out of fucking 10. But yeah, that concludes my little video and review of the Production 9 Tsunami, if I can get that to show. maybe. There we go. Production 9 Tsunami. I've enjoyed my time with it, truly. It is awesome, but sadly, all good things must come to an end. So, this knife has to go back home soon. Probably on Wednesday, I'll be sending it back to the Buffness. Again, thank you so very much, my guy, for letting me borrow this knife. It's very generous of you. If there's any other reviews anybody would like me to make, whatever the knife is, let me know. I'll see what I can do about getting it. There's one guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, which I'm really sorry for if you're watching, who offered to lend me a Z Bargo, which I'm really down to try out and make a video on or two. So I'm gonna talk to him a little bit more about that, see what's going on. I still have a bunch of knives in my collection that I need to make videos on. As it sits, I own 18 knives, and they're all in my possession right now. The Solo will be going back to Colorado within about a month or so because I'm getting titanium spacers that match the ano on that, so look forward to that. I'm going to make another video on it. Once I do that, then I'll make another one, which is my review on it. So sorry, but you're going to have to wait for this beauty. If there's any advice that you have for me, maybe you want me to upgrade something here, get some decoration or something like that, leave a comment, let me know. I'll see what I can do. I can't make any promises, but I'll see what I can do. If there's any specific content you want to see me make, again, comment down below, let me know. I'll see what I can do. Again, no promises whatsoever, but I will try. So, yeah, anyway. Everybody have a great night, or day, or whatever time of the day it is for you when you're watching this. Maybe it's fucking 10 o'clock for you. I don't know. But have a great day, night, afternoon, evening, whatever it is. And see you next time.